What's good, YouTube? My name is Russell, and I'm the face of anxiety and depression. I didn't realize I had anxiety or depression really. It was something I had to slowly learn about because I'm not so used to talking to other people about my problems like most of us. And then I got close to one individual in my life, and she was telling me that, yeah, you are, you are, you are. And I got real defensive and said, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. But I had to take that to an account, and I'm like, yo, I really am. And here's my experience with anxiety and depression. I won't go too deep into it, but the most recent experience I had with it was November 17th of 2017. I died in my sleep. And when I say I died in my sleep, like literally, I had a really traumatic experience when I just noticed that every woman that comes into my life just walks away. And that night it was actually after I watched Justice League with one of my mentees who was going through something in life, and I was going to help him get back on track to be a better student, a better son, a better everything in his life. And I promised his mom I would do that. I ended up going to sleep, and in my dream, I envisioned me and my daughter. Like my daughter's name in my dreams is Summer Rain. Rain spelled Reighn. And me and Summer and I, were doing this volcano project. And somewhere down the line, I fucked up. And she said the words that I don't want to be in your life anymore. You're the worst father ever. She picked up the volcano, destroyed it, and walked out the house. That destroyed me. It destroyed me because I was like the one woman I felt as though would be in my life forever until the last day of my existence. She told me that. It sent my body into a shock. And if it wasn't for my roommate coming home to see me laying, like turning blue or purple, whatever he told me, was crazy. But the crazy thing about it, he wasn't supposed to come home that night. He worked at a 5-star steak shop in Louisville, Kentucky, and literally he came home because he bought me a steak. And when he seen me that way, he was like, "Yo," so he put me in the bathtub, put ice in the bathtub, and I woke up about. I went to sleep about 10 o'clock that night. I woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting in the fucking tub full of ice, like asking myself, "What the fuck?" I see my beard falling out. I see everything. I'm like, "Man, this is crazy." And from that point on, I was like, I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know who to talk to about this because to be honest, when we talk about these things that we're going through, we get sympathetic answers. We get like, it'll be okay, time to heal our wounds, you'll be better from it, you'll learn from it, shit like that. But that's just a sympathetic way of telling us that you don't give a damn. What people, what from my experience, what people need in times like that is someone to listen, to understand from their perspective, to help them move forward from that. And it wasn't until I had a conversation with a good friend of mine named Will on the Meet Me app that we kept talking. We talked for about an hour and a half, and it's crazy how throughout the whole conversation I really keyed in on the word hindsight. I was like, what? Why am I listening to this word specifically? Like I'm listening to the whole conversation, but this word really spoke out to me. And the definition of hindsight is understanding of a situation or event only after it has happened or developed. So that to me is like, it pairs well with depression because depression is our perception of something that already has happened. So if you understand it, depression in hindsight, you understand that one, there's two different things going on: the reality of what happened and the perception of what happened. And sometimes we create different re- realities in our minds really um, that doesn't really fit, like that doesn't really match the reality of already happened. And so we find ourselves stuck like a hamster on a wheel trying to figure it out when we're the ones that put ourselves in that situation in the first place. So that's depression. Anxiety is something that we project. It's a perception that we project about something that hasn't happened yet. And I connect that um, with the word future sight. And the word future sight is an alleged ability to see events in the future. So most times we put ourselves in positions to be scared. We put ourselves in a position to not show our true potential due to the fact that we don't believe in ourselves. We don't love ourselves enough to know that we can do whatever we want to do, however we want to do it. And so, what I think is going on now in the world, there's so many people disconnected. So many people disconnected. We have families that are so, like, even though they say they love each other, they're so torn apart. They're individuals. You have people in relationships that are individuals. Like, like literally, we're all dealing with some type of depression or anxiety or some type of mental illness, and nobody talks about it. Nobody does. And I just got sick and tired of saying I didn't have anybody to talk to or nobody would understand, because I feel like everybody does understand. It's just the fact that it's not important enough to talk about. So I'm going to give you guys a few tips about what actually helped me, and it's accepting the fact that it has or hasn't happened yet. And when I say has happened, it has to do with the depression side, and hasn't happened deals with the anxiety side of things. Accept the fact that yes, that they have happened. Yes, they haven't happened, and move to step two. Step two is doing your best to find somebody to talk to this about. Now, this is a hard one because a lot of people don't understand what we're going through, and they're going to try to force us to medication, and they're going to force us to do things that we're really uncomfortable doing because it doesn't fit who we are, and it makes us feel like we're not normal at all. And so that'll be the hardest part, but I'm pretty sure that we all have someone. If you don't have someone, please reach out to someone that inspires you. Reach out to somebody who motivates you to be a better person every day. And I'll bet my bottom dollar that whoever you reach out to will do their best, not only to understand what you're going through, but to help you go through it as well. And step three is a lot simpler than step two. It's actually a 7-day process I learned from Tony Robbins, a motivational speaker, well known around social media. Um, he spoke about this 7-day process in which you go 7 straight days from the moment that you decide that you want to make a change. You don't allow whatever that was affecting you to affect you throughout those 7 days. And if it does affect you, you want to take a time out of your day to write it down, but you only think about what's going on at the time during the writing process. And after you write it down, put it to the side. You don't allow 5 minutes of your day to affect 23 hours and 55 minutes. So at the end of that 7-day process, you'll notice that one, the things that were affecting me were important, but not important enough to cripple our mind, our emotions, and everything else. And he also stated if you allow those thoughts to creep in, you have to start the whole 7-day process over again. So, number one, again, is to accept the fact that it happened or hasn't happened. Number two is to find someone to talk to about your problems and in hopes to help them understand you and help you out of it. And number three is to 7-day process to help you evolve past what's bothering you. I appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you.